Doorbell cameras are supposed to make us feel safe. They let us see who's outside before opening the door, but sometimes they capture things no one was meant to witness. Tonight, we're looking at the most disturbing cases ever caught on a doorbell camera, from a brutal murder in a quiet Welsh town to a late-night abduction in Las Vegas. These are not just recordings. They're chilling reminders of what can happen on the other side of the door. It was just after midnight on New Year's Day, 2020, when a quiet Las Vegas neighborhood witnessed something terrifying. A woman comes into frame on a doorbell camera sprinting toward a house. She's banging on the door, screaming for help. Then, a man appears into view, later identified as 23-year-old Darnell Rogers. Without any hesitation, he grabs her, throws her to the ground, and delivers a brutal kick to her stomach. The woman cries desperately, but instead of mercy, Rogers drags her by the hair back toward a waiting white sedan parked nearby.
Stop, Darnell!
What makes this case especially chilling is the backstory. The woman wasn't a stranger. She and Rogers had been at a New Year's Eve party together. What truly happened is during the night, they having an argument, and it becoming violence. So when the car stopped, she took her only chance to escape, sprinting toward the house and praying someone would answer the door. Instead, her final hope was a camera lens silently recording everything. Police released the video almost immediately, and it spread like wildfire. After enough information, Rogers was arrested within hours. He was charged with kidnapping and domestic battery. The woman survived the assault, but the images left behind still haunt anyone who's seen them. In August of 2018, a doorbell camera in Montgomery, Texas, recorded something disturbing. At 3:20 in the morning, a woman appeared barefoot, dressed only in a loose shirt, with her wrists bound by restraints. She rang the bell over and over, but the homeowner never answered. This 15 seconds footage left many people questioning. The investigators said that the woman was trapped in an abusive relationship, and her attempt to escape had been captured on the camera. And her boyfriend, that later identified as Kevin Wayne Quinn, the one holding her captive, was found dead shortly after.
Once inside, investigators say that he was found dead from an apparent suicide.
The male did leave a suicide note with some information that helped identify the female and some of the circumstances behind why this occurred.
As for why he committed suicide, the details weren't fully publicized, but the most likely reason was the looming investigation and the exposure of his abuse. Law enforcement believed the viral video brought massive public attention, and Quinn may have seen no way out once the search intensified. The woman herself was found safe and later received help, but the scars of what she endured were undeniable. What makes this clip unforgettable is that it's not staged or exaggerated. It's raw terror, captured in a few fleeting seconds that leave you unsettled long after you've watched it. In 2024, a man named Ben in the UK discovered that the real nightmare wasn't strangers lurking outside. It was his own neighbor. Night after night, his neighbor would show up outside his door, pounding, shouting, and threatening him in ways that no one could mistake for empty anger. And it's all caught on his doorbell camera. His neighbor can be heard promising to stab him, to shoot him, even to burn him alive. The routine became unbearable. A midnight knock or sudden chime of the doorbell could mean hours of abuse. Ben later admitted that he barely slept, living in a constant state of paranoia inside his own home. Even when police were called, the harassment didn't immediately stop. That's what made the doorbell footage so vital. Without it, Ben's ordeal might have been brushed off as neighbor drama. Eventually, after the clips gained attention, authorities finally acted. The neighbor was arrested and charged, and Ben was able to present the relentless footage as evidence in court. But the damage was already done. By then, Ben had been pushed to the breaking point, describing the experience as feeling like a prisoner in his own home. It's a chilling reminder of how the very people living closest to us can sometimes become the ones we fear the most. It was a quiet October night in Conway, North Wales, when a doorbell camera captured something no family should ever see. At 10:27 p.m., Catherine Flynn's daughter received a ring notification. Expecting the usual motion alert, she instead opened the live feed and heard the sounds of her 69-year-old mother being brutally attacked inside her home. The footage recorded a man forcing entry, smashing a window, dragging Catherine from her bed, and unleashing what prosecutors later described as unusual savagery. The daughter listened in real time, helpless, as every crash and scream echoed through her phone. Neighbors later reported hearing gruesome and terrifying sounds of someone screaming. When police arrived, Catherine was found in critical condition, suffering multiple fatal injuries. She later was rushed to the hospital, but despite doctors' efforts, she died shortly after. Her daughter later told reporters that even after the trial, she couldn't escape it. The doorbell notifications still haunted her, the sounds from that night replaying in her head. The family even admitted they couldn't bring themselves to remove the camera. It had become both the reason they lost Catherine and the reason justice was served. The man responsible was later identified as 25-year-old Jordan Jones, a local with no real connection to Catherine. What made the case so shocking was how senseless the attack was. Prosecutors revealed that Jones had no motive, no prior conflict with the family, and no clear explanation for the brutality. It was described as a random act of pure evil. In the end, Jones was sentenced to life in prison, with a minimum term of 25 years, ensuring that he would remain behind bars for decades.